Guys, welcome back. We're here with some more Dark Knights as promised. Last we left off, we saw the opening and we got a couple lines after that, so nothing missed. I hope you're staying fed, hydrated as usual. You know, I got my dog behind me. Not dog as in homie human affiliation, but an actual dog, and my water right next to me because hydration is key. I'll probably make this one about the same length as the last one. And again, I'll have a little annotation or time card for you to skip this little intro section. I'm enjoying it a lot so far, so let's just get right back in. I stare at the ceiling while lying on the couch. I think about what Akuya and Ryoji said earlier. Someone not from this village? Just these past few days, I've met four faces I've never seen before. Any of them could have moved here around the same time those disappearances started. It's possible that one of them is involved. Against my better judgment, I cannot help but want to investigate them further on my own. The excitement is overwhelming. Oh God, okay, we're already about to hop into a route. If there's any time to save, then it's gonna be now. Okay, so here's the thing. If I'm going based on straight looks, who's the most spicy, I'm gonna go with the guy in the forest. However, I want to protect said gentleman at the old house and the small boy. But if I'm putting myself in the MC's shoes, gender bending myself a little bit, I would most likely go with the person who broke into her room, who I now know is Kurato from the opening. You know what? I'm just gonna go with that. He was really suspicious. Oh, that's nice. I liked it. You know, you get a chance to rethink it. I'm pretty sure a lot of people clicked an option and then they were just gonna dive right in and then they had second thoughts. Yes, I will investigate him. Could it be him? He was acting pretty weird after all. I told him not to come back, but I wonder if there's a chance of encountering him again. I should be able to find him given how small the village is. I try to recall his appearance, but he does not have any unique features. I mean, he has his beanie. Haha. Now that I think about it, however, he had a strange sense of fashion. I've never met anyone who dressed the way he did. Oh well, no use fretting over the small detail. I'm sure I'll recognize him if I see him again. That little detail about the clothing, that kind of gives me a hint that he's possibly in the elite class. I don't know. The next day I wake up from a strange dream about the brown-haired guy from yesterday. He waved at me with a blood-stained hand, then whispered, "It's our secret." Scary. I do not remember what happened after that. Even though it was just a dream, it worries me. Maybe my mind is filled with thoughts about everything that has happened recently. I scratch my head and sigh. He was just a weirdo. If he had been a murderer, he would have killed me the moment we met. After taking a few deep breaths, I eventually calm down and crawl out of my bed. I prepare to leave for school. As usual, when I arrive at school, Ikuya greets me with an enthusiastic smile. We chit-chat a little before Ryoji joins us. Something that was funny last episode that I didn't get to touch on because the opening came through is like, she's just over here talking and we're sharing commonalities and everything, and then he just pops up talking about the actual investigation, and she's just like, "Hi, Ryoji," as if, you know, this is just like a normal thing for him or something. I notice he's unusually moody. "Hey, Ryoji, what's wrong?" He hesitates for a bit, then eventually sighs. "The rumors about the murders are making me sick. Those people are just spreading lies. Just because the investigators haven't solved them yet, people assume they're slacking off. The whole procedure doesn't happen in a day. People think solving a crime is so easy, hence us. Some people are even claiming the cops are involved with the murders themselves. All this nonsense is making it harder for us. I feel especially bad for my dad. Ikuya puts her arm around Ryoji's shoulder. Leo, just ignore them. My dog's name is Leo, and he looked up when I said that. That's funny. Ryoji sighs bitterly and shakes his head. Even my friends are complaining about it. I can't stand listening to them. At least you have two good friends on your side. Huh? Which friends are you talking about? Ikuya crosses his arm and looks at Ryoji. You don't consider us your friends? Let me think. Ikuya punches Ryoji. I'll stop. I was just kidding. To be honest, the murder cases have made me curious. Nothing like that ever happened before. This village is peaceful and not very exciting. Every day was the same as any other, like time rewound after midnight. But now, the disappearances and murder cases have changed that. Despite that, I'm not pleased by these events. If I can, I would like to find the culprit behind them. On my way home after classes, I keep thinking about the guy who broke into my room. It still bothers me. I do not know how or why he did it. Just then I hear a familiar voice calling my name, breaking me out of my thoughts. Hey, are you ignoring me? I turn around and see Ryoji right behind me. A little surprised, I step back. How long have you been there? Ryoji rubs the back of his neck and raises an eyebrow. Not long. Geez, you should pay more attention to your surroundings. Let your guard down and some creep might attack you. Again. I mumble to myself and shake away the image of a particular creep in mind. What? Never mind. I move closer, hitting his arm playfully. So what are you still doing here? Aren't you going home? Well, I was wondering if you wanted to walk home together. Why was Ryoji not an option? His suggestion catches me off guard. It's been months since we walked home together. Ryoji's been so busy with club activities that I barely see him after class. Doing it again after so long would be nice. Of course. We walk home side by side. I do not know what we can talk about, mostly because I'm not sure what he's been up to recently. There are many things I can ask. Don't you have club activities after school? I've decided to skip them for today. I feel too tired to stay at school any longer. Besides, it feels like we haven't talked much lately. You have duties as the class president. I get that you're busy. I'm sorry for dumping that role on you. I didn't feel suited for it. I felt more suited for private investigating. She didn't say that, by the way. I said that. It's still a bad excuse for spending less time with my friends. I took the role, so it's my responsibility now. If you say so. This might be out of the blue, but is it just me, or have we all changed since our first year? Even Ikuya is busy with her own stuff now. Ryoji looks up at the sky with a melancholic, oh my god, okay, well, we starting to get the spelling errors coming in. I was doing so well. Melancholic expression, as though looking at something nostalgic. To be honest, I feel the same way. But if everything is better like this, then we should let it be. Paths meet, cross, and separate. We don't have to aim for the same future. I'm gonna take a pause on that, and that is very true. Sometimes you outgrow friends and situations. It really do be like that sometimes. You should follow whatever your heart desires. You must be joking. The Tyler I know doesn't let go of relationships that easy. I feel like he's actually talking to me. Maybe I've changed. Well, to me, you haven't changed at all. You're saying that now, but I think you and I feel the same way. Sorry for my attitude. I got too caught up with things and forgot what I really want to do. It could be that you left me because you thought it was the best for me. Left me because... Okay, I have questions, but I'll wait. I miss the old times with you and Ikuya. We should hang out together again like we used to. Yeah, you don't have to apologize. It's not like anyone is at fault. It's been a while since I've seen this side of Ryoji. Walking home with him brings back memories. I did not think he cared this much about our friendship. All this time I tried not to get in his way. Perhaps I was the one who didn't try hard enough. Because Ryoji lives farther than I, we part ways when I reach my neighborhood and I walk the rest of the way home by myself. I'm home. That's kind of sad, walking to an empty house and saying that, but yeah. Obviously, there's no reply, but I still do it out of habit. I feel hungry, so I think about preparing dinner right away. What shall I make today? Something easy like sushi, or should I go for curry? How about both? Let's see what I have. As I head to the kitchen, noises from upstairs make me freeze. Is it Kurato? It better be. The sounds of doors opening and closing. It could have been the wind. Okay, the music is scaring me. But because of the rumors, I'm extra cautious. Could it be the stalker again? It's strange, because I'm sure that I locked all the windows today. I take an umbrella to defend myself and silently move upstairs. Mm, Surface. Oh, okay, so we are on this route. I peek through the railing and notice that the light is on in my room. My heart is beating rapidly as I hold my weapon tightly. I show whoever it is that they're messing with the wrong person. Slowly, I move closer and press my back against the wall beside the door. Okay, I see you, 007. I strain my ears for footsteps. I can figure out their position. Suddenly, someone walks out of my room. They seem like they're about to leave. They continue heading towards the stairs, having not noticed me. I hold my umbrella firmly and lunge when the person steps within my range. Ah, stop it! I'm not. Ow. His voice sounds familiar, so I pull back. Fumbling in the darkness, I manage to find the hall light switch. The first thing I see is a guy wearing a brown cap facing away from me, and I immediately realize it's the same person who broke into my house the other day. So he just came in and made himself at home. Come to steal again, huh? I told you not to let me see your face ever again. You're not looking at my face though. I was honestly just thinking that. The guy turns around, keeping his distance from me. I raise my umbrella again, but he grabs it before I can do anything else. Let go, pervert! He leans in closer and covers my mouth with his hand, the force strong enough to push me against the wall. First of all, my name isn't pervert, it's Kurato. Second, you shouldn't scream at night. Your neighbors might think you're being assaulted. I love how like the bead of sweat on his face is there and he's just so calm. I give him a sharp look, as if it's not obvious what he's doing right now. Don't look at me like that. Believe it or not, I'm here to protect you. I raise my eyebrow. Yeah, sure, by pinning me against the wall. I try to speak, but my words are muffled. He tilts his head, unable to make out anything I'm trying to say. I take my hand off so you can talk, but only if you promise not to scream. In any other context, okay. I nod slowly and he releases his grip. Hold on, you're saying that you broke into my house and assaulted me to protect me? I didn't actually break in. Without permission, it counts as breaking in, no matter who does it. He lets out a deep sigh as he steps back. I cross my arm and wait for a better explanation. If you really are here to protect me, you could try acting like it. You didn't have to climb through my window the other night. It was hard to reach you, so I had to improvise. What are you protecting me from? You've heard about the recent killings, right? I'll get straight to the point. You might be on their target list and I've been assigned as your private guard. I shake my head and hold out my hand. Show me proof that you're really a private guard. Kurato digs into his pocket and takes out a badge, handing it to me. To my surprise, he also shows me a gun he kept hidden under his belt. He kept that thing on him. I recognize the symbol on the front of the badge. Only selected investigators have it. Ryoji often talks about his father's job as an investigator, and how only they are permitted to carry guns and badges with the distinct symbol. Is Kurato an investigator? I take a closer look at his credentials. Kurato Hakase. Does your family name mean doctor? Dr. Kurato. It's not my real family name. It was changed after I was adopted. Okay, so I guess now we gotta protect him too. I see. Does that mean you believe me, Tyler? I give Kurato back his belongings and he keeps them, smiling confidently. Nobody told me about this though. It's supposed to be a secret so we can trap the killer. For now, I'll be keeping an eye on you. This violates my privacy. Maybe I went a bit too far. And what were you doing in my room? Just making sure you're still here. Hmm. I'm pretty sure professionals don't check up on their clients this often. Back there, he gave his gun to me. Not that I would have, but did he not realize that I can simply take it and shoot him? Not that I would have. I'm stuck with an amateur guard. He could have told me so when he broke in the other night. Then again, I immediately chased him out and didn't give him a chance to explain. You said I might be on a target list, but how are you so sure they will come after me? The murderer seems interested in this neighborhood. The rest of my team are looking after the other residents. I'm sure this is shocking, but don't worry, I'll protect you. Kurato must think I'm scared, but instead I look at him and grin. This is a perfect opportunity. I never knew the murderer would be so close. If I could catch him... If you're watching out for the murderer, then you'll be involved sooner or later. That means we'll have a chance to solve this case. You're lucky to have me as a partner. Together we will... I never said you were my partner. But I want to help out. You're already helping by being a target. Oof. I continue trying to convince him to let me help, but he does not budge. I am told to act as I usually do. Residents are supposed to work together with their guards. I'm here to ensure your safety. Professionals don't complete it your way, though. You should be thankful you even have a guard. I'm surprised an amateur like you is an investigator. I didn't have a good first impression of you, but I shouldn't judge a book by its cover. I don't expect much, but do your best. Yes, that is a yikes triple dot. I guess I'll take that as a compliment? I give him a nonchalant look and shrug. Thank you for explaining the situation to me. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to sleep. You might as well go home. I told you I'm going to watch you closely. Watch me? Closely? Kurato looks around uncomfortably, rubbing the back of his neck. I don't get why he's still hanging around, so I ask what's bothering him. Like I asked last time, can I stay here? My jaw almost drops after hearing this. I put my hand on my face and take a deep breath. He's still insistent about that, so I guess it's not a joke. If I allowed him to stay, it might make his job of protecting me easier. Still, it's unbelievable that a guy like him was assigned to me. I might actually be safer without him around. Oh man. Something is strange about Kurato, but I cannot pinpoint what. Well, I mean, he seems very much just like a regular guy with a not so regular job. I kind of like that. I should get to know him before jumping to conclusions. I decide to give him the benefit of the doubt and let him stay. Kurato is overjoyed for my decision, as if I saved his life. You sound like a homeless person. I am. Sort of. I live by myself, but I can barely pay the rent. Kind of reminds me of Yusuke from Persona 5. He's just always broke when he really shouldn't be. You are brutally honest. Kurato laughs softly at my comment. I take another look at him. For a homeless person, I wonder how he got such a high position. It requires exceptional grades and abilities to become an investigator. The guy before me got taken down by a high school girl with an umbrella. Hopefully I will not regret my decision. I take Kurato around my house and show him where the important rooms like the kitchen and bathroom are. We finally stop in the guest room, which is right next to mine. After that, he thanks me politely and I leave him alone. It has been a long time since someone stayed in my place. I don't know how long he'll be here, but it shouldn't be a problem. No one really checks up on me, and I wouldn't mind some company at home. My first impression of him was terrible, but that may change. I'm curious what he's got up his sleeve. Before I go to sleep, I take a quick shower. With the large towel wrapped around my body, I look in the mirror. The Kuya has always teased me that I should interact more with people, but I always seem to attract creeps. I must look like an easy target or something. Besides, I think my personality frightens people instead. Yes, Tyga, it does. Maybe I should work on that. Whoa. Okay, my boy's kind of swole. I wasn't expecting that. But, anyways, suddenly the door swings open and reveals Kurato, who steps into the bathroom. I freeze on the spot when I notice he's not wearing anything except for a towel hanging from his waist. My gaze lingers on his fair build. He must have gone through a lot of training to achieve such a body. He looks fitting for the role of an investigator like this. Oh, now he looks fitting. Okay. You're going straight to jail. What am I thinking? Kuda does not seem to be aware that I was already in the bathroom. When he notices me, he looks at me from top to bottom. I do not know what's going through his head, but he keeps staring. I wait for him to say something, but after a moment I break the silence myself. Hey, were you planning on joining? Hey, were you planning on joining me? Alarmed. Sorry. Kuroto turns away, his cheeks redden, quickly closes the door. Okay, so I'm gonna take a moment to appreciate the MC because very nice reaction to that situation. Very natural. I find his reaction funny. I let you off for now because I'm to blame for forgetting to lock the door. Knock next time. There's a muffled sound of agreement behind the door, followed by footsteps. He must have gone back to his room. I take a deep breath and close my eyes. I should have gotten mad, but he seemed more flustered than I am. Luckily, I have a towel around me. If he had come in at a different time, I would not have let him leave unscathed. His first day and he's already causing trouble. Next day. On that note, I'm gonna drink some water because hydration. Before I go to school, I leave some food on the table, along with a list of house rules. And the note I also tell him not to make a mess of my place while I'm gone. I head for Kurato's room to check to see if he's still around. His door was slightly ajar, and through the gap, I see him lying in bed, shirtless, his blanket on the ground. I sigh and quickly enter his room to pick up the blanket. You'll catch a cold, idiot. I drape the blanket over his body and turn to leave. Just as I'm about to close the door, I hear the bed shifting as he stirs in his sleep. No, must get them. Get them quick. I'm seeing I'm pretty similar to our friend Kurato because apparently I talk in my sleep too, except it's more like I'm screaming and yelling. But enough of that. I get a little confused after hearing his words. Get who? After that, Kurato continues to sleep soundly. I do not know what he was mumbling about. Maybe he was having a nightmare. Did the Bright Days thing change? I'm loving these emoticons. I decide to leave Kurato alone and leave for school. Before break starts, the teacher gives an announcement. Oh, here comes the spooky music. Students, this is a notice from the local police, so pay attention. Due to recent events, the village will be placed under curfew. No one is allowed to leave from 9 p.m. to 3 p.m. I mean, that's kind of like the coronavirus right now. If you don't know what that is and you're watching this years later, just know that, yes, there might be dangerous people lurking about during these times, so stay home and lock everything. It feels like we're being treated like small children, but no one protests because of how serious the situation is. After the announcement, everyone starts to chat among themselves. I lean to the right to try to get Ryoji's attention. Ryoji, what exactly is going on? Haven't you read the newspaper? They found dead bodies dumped in an alley. The autopsy report stated that they died sometime between 9 p.m. and 3 a.m. The same goes for the previous cases too, hence the notice. So we got a serial killer? Question mark. Don't you think it's far-fetched to warn even the students? Apparently there's no pattern, and the next victim could be anyone walking around at night, student or not. Okay, never mind. Warning everyone is the best way to prevent that. I see. I don't intend to go out during that time anyway. Ryoji moves a little closer, lowering his voice. According to the statistics, your neighborhood is the most at risk. Have you not noticed anything strange lately? Not much, aside from being watched. There are investigators patrolling now. Investigators? I talked to one of them. He said that everyone in my neighborhood might be on the target list, and that they are just on high alert. I see. We can't be certain about that. We can't ignore it either. Ryoji steps back when Ikuya approaches us. Oh yeah, she doesn't like spooky stuff. Hi guys, what were you whispering about? Just the recent disappearances in the murder case. Oh, I wonder why these events are happening. It was so quiet and peaceful before. I bet it's an outsider. No villager would do something like this. Outsider? Like the forest tourists? The forest tourists are still missing, right? Maybe the demon knows what they did and took care of it. Oh, Ikuya, we gave up that idea. Besides, the demon won't get involved with things that happen within the village. The forest is its territory. Just like a guardian, it will stay with its treasure. See, I improvised that line because I got it wrong at first, but we did well. It was just a theory. Talking about theories won't solve the case, but we could probably find out who the murderer is. I kind of feel bad for Ikuya, getting kind of sidelined, you know? Hopefully that changes. But also, I mean, if he's not an option, at least that means that she won't be alone, you know? Tyler's playing detective again. The police are already working on it. Exactly, Tyler. That's why I'm going to solve this first. Not you too, Ryoji. This isn't a competition. I'll solve it without you or your connections to the police. Ikuya sighs deeply as she looks at the both of us. When class ends, Ryoji and I decide to study together. Oh. Since Kurato is at home, in order not to disturb him, I think it's best to study at Ryoji's place. Come in and make yourself comfortable. The place is smaller than I remembered. Ryoji chuckles at my comment and cleans up the table. It's been a while since she came over. You were a lot shorter back then. When I take a seat, he heads off to the kitchen. He must be getting snacks. Snacks! I dump my books on the table. After looking through them, I realize I have a lot of homework today, mostly from history class. Oh man, history class. Apparently, Mr. Blanket is actually probably Mr. Blanchette's? Blanchette's? I just figured that it was Blanket because, you know, blanket, wet blanket, that's her least favorite class. I think we should roll with it. I think that would be a nice little ongoing thing here. Alright, continuing. I guess Kurato has to wait a little longer for dinner. Wait, he isn't a child. He can take care of himself. I need to stop worrying about him. Let's see. I'll start with history. If there's any subject I'm bad at, it will be this one. For once, we're learning about something interesting. This chapter is about village legends. Luckily, I'm with Ryoji today. He's more knowledgeable about this. You've got trouble with history again? Ryoji returns to the room carrying a tray. On it are cups of tea and plates of treats, which he sets down in front of me. He takes a seat beside me and looks over at my textbook. Mr. Blanket gave some... I can't read his name without laughing now. Gave some hints to the answers during his lecture yesterday. Alright, we're asleep. Fine, I'll help you with the homework. The first section is related to our school. If I remember right, there was an incident. I've heard rumors floating around about a ghost. The story of the... Dang, the music just... Okay. The story of the school ghost has many variations, but I'll tell you the true story it's based on. I found it in the police archives. Several decades ago, a boy was tortured and later murdered by his classmates in school. Only his legs were at the scene of the crime. They couldn't find the rest of him. The only suspects were children, and none of them were definitively linked to the murder, so the case was never solved. I'm shocked that I'm shocked the children would do such a thing. What could have driven them so mad to kill their classmate? Or torture him and separate him from his legs, but that's all inclusive. It remains a mystery to this day. It's never too late to dig into it now. The culprits probably died. Oh, it's too late to dig into it now. The culprits probably died of old age. Anyway, they say the ghost of the victim wanders to school late at night. Because he has no legs, he basically crawls on the ground. So when you hear a shuffling sounds, he's nearby, or so the rumor goes. Is he an evil spirit that remains in the school for revenge? Probably. No one's seen him up close, but there are people who claim to see strange things through the windows from outside. I mean, we saw strange things from the window outside the mansion. I wonder if that's connected. The shuffling sound is hard to identify too. It could be easily something else. Hmm. That sounds interesting. I suddenly have the urge to explore explore the school at night. We are definitely very bored. Do you think you're the only one who got that idea? I told you, nobody's ever encountered him. Maybe if I'm lucky, I'll get to see him. Unlucky, more like it. I roll my eyes and turn back to my textbook. There's a photo on the page. Written in small text under the photo is "In memory of Class 1E." Ryoji gives a brief description of the victim's appearance. I search for the boy in the photo. He's standing on the far left as the shortest of the group. Unlike the other students with big smiles on their faces, he looks rather sad. I'm surprised our school's reputation wasn't damaged. Records and textbooks tell different stories. The public doesn't know what really happened. I had to search the old archives and various other sources to find out the truth. Besides, it was a long time ago. People moved on. Let's look into the next legend, the Forest Demon. Could that possibly be what was his name? Zaykun? I think, based on the opening. I've heard a lot of things about it, but they don't make any sense. The legend gets mixed up because it seems like people will believe anything they hear. Remember our trip from a few days ago? That alone was enough to start unnecessary rumors. The villagers thought we were crazy to visit the forest after the missing tourist incident. Our teachers think that is nonsense. I'm still not sure what to believe. So what do you think about the forest demon? It's an old legend, even older than this village. Many believe there's only one demon, but there could be more. Their appearance varies, but they're often portrayed as weird-looking animals with horns. Oh, as a weird. Could it be an undiscovered species? Maybe. Or it could be that someone saw an ordinary animal and mistook it for a demon. Can't really disprove something like that, and the description is vague enough that it could be almost anything. The village says they're evil, devouring every person who enters the forest. The devouring part is not meant to be taken literally. The demon would take something from you, probably your soul. In order to appease the demon and prevent disaster, the villagers built a temple deep within the forest. I'm not sure how they managed to do it in a forest they feared, but take it as it is. I remember the crimson haired guy. Yeah, same. I remember the crimson haired guy I met during our trip. I asked Ryoji if there are people patrolling the forest. Nope, there's no need to do that every day. After hearing this, I reconsider visiting the forest. We continue to chit chat as we do our homework until the sun goes down. Thanks to Ryoji, I finish my history homework with these. In return, I help him with other subjects. Ooh. When I leave Ryoji's place, it's already completely dark outside, but I still manage to get home by 9 p.m. When I enter the house, I notice the lights are off. It looks like nobody's at home, unless Kurato already went to sleep. I'm home, Kurato. Are you there? Nobody answers me, so it seems like I have to find it myself. Okay. Based on the fact that I'm feeling like we're really similar and they mentioned food earlier, I want to check here. I highly doubt he's still asleep. I go to the kitchen and turn the lights on. Seems he's really. My room? This is silly, but it won't hurt to check, of course. If he's still there, I might kill him. The curtains are wide open in my room. Moonlight shines through the window, illuminating the shadows on my bed. I should have saved my game. Silly Tyler. I'm just gonna do it now. Alright. Judging from the clothes hung over the chair and the brown hair strands sticking out of the sheets, I know it's Kurato. What the? Why is he sleeping in my bed? Did he mistake my room for his own? I stand in front of my bed, ready to pull a blanket off, but I change my mind at the last moment. His expression looks so peaceful, like he's having a sweet dream. Being an investigator must be tough, especially for someone so young. Fine, I'll let you sleep here. I gently brush some hair strands away from his face. Up close, I realize he's actually pretty handsome. What am I doing? I need to start dinner. After pulling away, I leave silently. I guess I'll sleep in the guest room tonight. I feel like maybe there's something Kurato isn't telling us. He's a little bit too attached? I don't know. Maybe he's just a weird guy like I am. I see Ikuya and Ryoji discussing something. Curious, I join them. Hey guys, what's up? Tyler, are you alright? Of course, why wouldn't I be? Ryoji told me police are guarding your street. I can't believe you're in so much danger. Nothing much happened so far. You don't have to be this serious about it. Of course I'm gonna take this seriously. Ikuya pouts and looks over at Ryoji. It seems he agrees with her. The mood quickly changes when Ikuya asks about the investigators. By the way, have you seen anyone from our school? I heard a few students work as investigators. It seems like such a difficult job for students to handle. Besides, there's not enough work in the village. Wait, okay, I'm so sorry. Besides, there's not enough work as the village is mostly quiet. The extras don't get paid. I'm curious to what kind of person is keeping an eye on you. They better do a good job at keeping you safe, or I won't forgive them. Don't want to make Ikuya angry. It's best if I don't tell her about Kurato, or she'll try to dig for more information. It might give her the wrong impression if she finds out that my guard is staying in my place. I would bury my face out of embarrassment. I haven't seen any of the investigators as far as I know. Most guards don't reveal themselves. It will make the residents restless. Yeah, so, you know what? Let's just keep going. I feel like maybe there's a little bit more to this. The idea is to set a trap. People should act normally. It's likely the students from the elite class took the job. It's not something to be bragging about, and they know a lot about keeping their identities hidden. No one has ever seen or spoken to the elite students. Not even our teacher knows a lot about them, so I can understand why they would be chosen for the job. They're just abusing their privileges to skip class. They're probably too busy investigating to even care about school. I know, right? What about your brother, Ikuya? He isn't an investigator as far as I know. He just studies at home. You should drag your brother to school sometime. It's been so long, I've forgotten his face. I tried many times, but he can be so stubborn. Our discussion is interrupted by Mr. Blanket calling us to our seats. We do not get another chance to speak until classes end for the day, when Ikuya and Ryoji depart for their school clubs. After saying goodbye, I pack my things to go home. On my way to the lockers, I find a handkerchief on the ground. Its fancy design catches my attention, so I pick it up. There's a name embroidered on it, Roya K. I do not recognize it. Elite class? This looks important. I should bring it to the Lost and Found office. Hey, that's mine. Okay, he is very elegant. A guy stands behind me, so tall that I have to look up at him. I notice his uniform design. He's not a regular student. I hand over the handkerchief when he reaches out for it. Roya? How do you... Ah, my handkerchief. Thank you for returning this, Miss Tyler. Have we met before? Who knows? Roya shows a mysterious grin and leaves. I stare at his back until he disappears from sight. I've never met this guy before. How does he know my name? He's also the first elite student I've ever seen walking around school. I wonder why he's here today. Elite students are peculiar. I'm home. It's quiet when I enter my house. There's no answer, so I assume Kurato has gone out. I drop my bag and decide to head for the kitchen to prepare some tea. It always calms me down after a long day. I pass by the living room and freeze, hearing soft breathing coming from the couch. Aww. This is wholesome. Very wholesome. I think this is our first time seeing him without the overcoat, too. I would not be able to sleep in all of that. Upon stepping closer, I notice that Kurato is lying there, his sleeping face looking peaceful. He must have worked hard today. I should let him be. When I return, Kurato is already sitting up reading. He looks up from his newspaper. He woke up so quickly and put on all of his clothes. Did I disturb you? Nah, I had a good nap. I just made tea. Let me get you some. Kurato smiles appreciatively when I hand him a cup. I sit next to him and glance at what he's reading. It occurs to me that there are things about him I have yet to confirm. It was written on his badge that he attends the same school as me. Say, Kurato, do you really never attend class? Hmm? What class are you in? Normally you get a penalty for being absent. This is her roundabout way of asking if he's in the elite class. Let's see. I think people call it the elite class or something. I almost spit out my tea upon hearing his answer. So, you really are? Why are you so surprised? Because this is so insulting. You look normal to me. Was that supposed to be a compliment? I thought all of the elite students are supposed to be peculiar, although nothing's really normal these days. I'm curious. I hardly ever see them around school, and I'd rather hear what they're like from you than the rumors. I don't know. I haven't met anyone yet. Most of them were absent from the first day. If everyone else is skipping class, why wouldn't I? You don't even know your own classmates? I just said, it's not that I don't believe you. I just find it a bit strange. I guess they have their reasons. I do remember someone. There's this guy named Chain. He's an investigator like me, so I've seen him around. He looks pretty angry when he said that. I don't think they get along. Do you guys get along? Sorta, but we're more like rivals. Ribaru? Okay, I see. He's kind of reserved, doesn't talk a lot. You could say we're opposites personality-wise. You'll get it if you meet him. I bet he's a truant just like you. Speaking of your classmates, do you know a guy named Roya? A flicker of recognition crosses his face. He must be familiar with the name. Roya. Is he in my class? I'm not sure. Kurato frowns, lost in his thoughts. Even with the student from the elite class sitting beside me, I'm not getting any answers. You should interact more with your classmates. Yes, Mom. I'm just trying to get you to socialize. You don't exactly look like a social butterfly either. Maybe you should take your own advice. Don't change the subject. We're talking about you. Why don't you talk to an elite student yourself, if you're so interested? I'm talking to one of them, though. We spend the rest of the afternoon talking about school. Kurato has been in an elite class since I was the first year. He had been too lazy to attend classes during that time and was hardly ever around, which explains why I did not recognize his face when we first met. I have to admit, I wouldn't go to class either if the same rules applied to us. Kurato also mentions that we met once when we were younger, but I cannot recall it. because maybe that has something to do with why he's so attached. It must have been a long time ago. He just didn't make a very large impression. I try to ask more about it, but Kurato waves it off as a fun fact and says nothing else about it. Okay, so Roya recognizes us. Kurato knows us from childhood. I don't think that's a coincidence. I didn't think you were actually serious. We dragged him to school. It feels like he probably feels like Inuyasha when Kagome would drag him into the present, quote unquote. You should always take me seriously. Kurato rubs his head, looking around uncomfortably. I place my hands on his back and push him forward. Where's your uniform, by the way? Either I lost it or it's collecting dust in my locker, which I've forgotten the combination to. And the number. And his general location. I look at him with narrow eyes. I question how he even got accepted into such an exclusive class. The image totally does not fit Kurato. Maybe I had the wrong idea about elite students in general. I don't know. He feels like a kindred spirit to me, is what I'm trying to say. I'm glad I chose this route first. I walk Kurato to the classroom, since he cannot remember where that is either. It feels like I'm showing a transfer student around. After we take a turn in the hallway, I accidentally bump into someone. I stumble, but Kurato catches me before I hit the ground. Hey, Chain. It's rare to see you in school. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. I missed whatever part of the history that was in. What's that? Makes sense. You barely show up. Now I can continue. Rubbing my head, I glance up to the face of the tall person in front of me. His light blue eyes look down into mine. Pause, his design looks really nice. I mean, he's prepared for COVID. He's fresh with the tie. Everything really clicks with him. His cold stare gives me chills, yet his gas mask is strange enough to draw my attention away from his eyes. This must be the person Kurato talked about yesterday. He looks more like a laboratory worker than a student. Sorry for bumping into you. It's fine. His deep voice is distorted. I can't imitate that, but I can try. It sounds creepy. If I were alone with him, I would not stay around for long. If I was alone, I might fold. I'm kidding. Kurato moves forward and pats Chain on the shoulder. So what are you doing here? Chain glances down at Kurato's hand, then steps away from him. I like their dynamic. Just some business. You? Well, this kid's forcing me to attend class. At the comment, I puff on my cheeks and glare at Kurato. He had said it in a joking tone, but Chain just keeps quiet, not finding it funny. There's not much for you to do here, though. The target has escaped. Target? Kurato just nods in response, his expression unchanging. After those words, Chain takes his leave. That sounded like something important. I wonder what Chain meant, but I doubt Kurato would tell me about it. Why was Chain wearing a gas mask in school? It's not like the air here is bad. I don't know, might be a fashion choice. The elite students' classroom is located in a different part of the school building. Even though there's no one in the hallways, it feels awkward just standing around when I have no business being here. Kurato not wanting me to leave, asked to keep him company for a short while. I only say yes to satisfy my curiosity. I expect the classroom to be completely empty, but a lone boy sits in the corner, a book in his hands. Oddly enough, he does not look any older than 14. I look back at Kurato in confusion. Did we enter the wrong classroom? Oh, she must have not been expecting anyone there. You look confused, but we are in the right place. I remember my classroom, at least. It's usually pretty empty. That boy is Kaichi, by the way. He looks young enough to be in elementary school. After abruptly putting his book down, the boy stands up and starts walking towards us. Oh, he looks pissed. He stops in front of me. I notice he's even shorter than I am. I can hear you. The answer is no. I'm just physically 14. And I'm an elite student. Kaichi answers all my questions at once, with a straight face. Even Kurato remains speechless. Don't gossip about your seniors or make random assumptions. Go back to your own classroom. This place is only for the elite. He turns to Kurato, who is standing beside me. And you, if you're staying, don't disturb me. I'm reading something important. The boy shoots me a fierce look that makes me freeze in place before he returns to his seat. Spank that bad child. Kurato, did you hear that? Kurato chuckles, patting me on my shoulder. Don't take it personally. Kaichi's always like this. I didn't mean to offend Kaichi. He must have a bad impression of me now. You know what I thought about saying if I was in that situation? If you've ever played Doki Doki Literature Club, and Yuri tells Natsuki to go look for coins under the vending machine, that's what I felt like saying in that situation. Honestly though, these elite people are weird. That boy... You should go back to your classroom. Thanks for accompanying me this far. I'll pick you up once classes are over. Actually, you can just wait for me by the lockers. It's not like I'm embarrassed, but if Kurato comes to pick me up, my friends, especially Ikuya, will have endless questions. Maybe I'll introduce Kurato to them another day, when the time is right. Alright, if you say so. After classes end, I immediately head to the lockers, which seem more crowded than usual. There's a group of people surrounding something. It has to be Kurato, but I cannot see what. Even Ikuya is there. There are too many people. I can't find Kurato. Are you a transfer student? I've never seen you before. I move closer to see what's going on, and I instantly recognize Kurato at the center of the crowd. I cannot miss his dark beanie. What has he done to attract so much attention? Just because he's a normal-looking elite student? How do I reach him? The moment Kurato sees me, he smiles and starts pushing away the crowd. I self-consciously step back, trying to make myself stand out less. Then I turn around and walk out of the school. Oh, well, she's not looking for clout just by being seen with him, so I guess that's nice. Tyler, you left so quickly. What's wrong? Wait, don't tell me you're jealous. Why would I be? Kurato chuckles at my reaction as he walks beside me. So, have had any fun in class? It's time to check recording time. Let's see. Oh, we're good. Maybe a little while longer. Kaichi and I were the only ones around, so they didn't talk. I was stuck with that brat the whole day. It wasn't fun at all. Why don't you try to socialize with him? Who wants to be friends with the sharp-tongued little bookworm? Not a fan of children? Not when they glare murderously at me. I can hear you. We both turn around and find Kaichi behind us, glaring with the same look Kurato was just talking about. I didn't notice him at all. How long have you been walking behind us? Just for a short while. It's not like I'm following you. I'm going to the public library, which is also in this direction. I see you're still gossiping about your seniors. Seems you didn't take my words seriously. You're not even worth talking to. He glares at us blankly. I don't know if Kaichi was speaking to both of us or just me. The awkward air between us feels thick as a brick wall. Kurato and I stand there, not knowing exactly what to say. Kaichi just keeps walking, ignoring us. I feel the tension fading away as he turns the corner. Cute as he is, he can be rather gloomy and difficult to handle. When we reach home, I settle on the living room couch and start doing my homework. Kurato just sits beside me, browsing through a newspaper like he has nothing better to do. Don't you need to study for upcoming exams? Nah, that'd be boring. Besides, I've already got it memorized. Well, genius, since you've got nothing to do, can you just help me with history? Ah, sure. What's your question? There's a legend about the school ghost. What do you know about it? That one's... Kurato rubs his chin while looking down at my textbook. His eyes glint up after a moment. Something must have come to mind. Part of this story is real. The ghost of a boy sometimes appears around the school at night. So you believe ghosts exist. Who knows? They might even be around right now. Do you? Hmm. The doorbell rings before I can answer. Putting my textbook aside, I stand up to check it out. Oh. I open the door to see Chain standing outside. His unusual appearance startling me a little bit. Can I help you? I'm looking for Kurato. Hey bro, how did you know I was here? I think he talks to him all friendly just to bother him, honestly. The man in question suddenly appears behind me, a cheeky grin on his face. Shane crosses his arm and raises an eyebrow, as though to say the answer should be obvious. Shane pointedly looks at me, drawing Kurato's gaze. Huh? Tyler? Mind him giving us a sec? We're gonna talk about some confidential work. Saying no isn't really an option, so I let them be. However, I cannot let this chance to eavesdrop slide. I hang back around the corner, leaning against the wall. I can vaguely make out their conversation. Don't let your guard down. Something big might happen soon. Things are going according to schedule then. Thanks for the warning. So how's the target? I can't find him. He must be pretty skilled to escape from you. You should be cautious. I didn't expect them to show up at school. I should patrol that area too. Whatever you want. By the way, there's something I want you to do for me. It goes silent for a moment. Kurato starts whispering, but I'm too far to hear it clearly. I try to move closer, but then he speaks up. I mean, if he was talking clearly before and then whispers, he knows you're eavesdropping. Obviously. The murderer is always slipping past us. I'm starting to think there might be more of them. It's been easy for them too. It's like they're always one step ahead of us. Do you think one of our own is involved? Kurato's words are intriguing. A mole within the investigators? If that's the case, then who can be trusted? I hear nothing except Shane's deep sigh. It sounds a bit creepy through his gas mask. Even if it's one of our own, I won't hesitate. I know you won't. You never stray from your goals. I wish I had your resolve. Just then, I hear the door opening. Shane must be leaving. I quickly head for the couch, grabbing my textbook and pretending to be writing something down. Like, don't make it obvious. And then she picks up the history book. Seconds later, Kurato returns to the living room. He takes one look at me and smiles mischievously. Yeah, he knew. Hear anything interesting? I have no idea what you mean. Kurato sits down beside me, still eyeing me. It's okay. You can drop the innocent act. I would have told you anyway, just to keep you from stressing out about all this. I want to be honest with you. Kurato's a klutz sometimes, but he's sharp. He is an investigator after all. I have nothing else to say, so I simply shrug. You'll be safe with me around. Actually, I'm more worried about missing out on the action. Nope, people like you should stay home. People like me? I mean regular, untrained people. Just stay at home and don't do anything unnecessary. I flush at his comment. I understand his logic, but he makes it sound as though I would only get in his way. Well, I mean, if you can knee something or someone, but like charge it up, smash style, then you probably would be useful. Well, he can't stop me from intervening if anything happens. My answer is no. No. And no. Yeah, he's asking if he can sleep there. He has to be. Stop suggesting weird things. Oh, come on. It's just for one night. There's no way we're sharing one room. Go sleep in your own. You eavesdropped on us back there. You heard it's getting dangerous. If I'm right beside you, it'd be easier to. I pushed Kurato out of my room and slammed the door shut. I'm sure Kurato is just messing around. No guard would ever ask to sleep beside their target. Then again, most guards don't live with their targets in the first place. I think I'll actually save it there, guys. And pick it up in the next one. I'm really liking this. I wasn't expecting to pick a route as soon as the episode started. Um, Again, you can skip to the next video if you don't want to hear this outro-ish bit. The video is already like almost an hour long, I think. Um, but yeah, I pretty much talked about little theory stuff throughout the episode. I guess one thing that I do want to add that I didn't say earlier is that I feel like Roya, Chain, and Kurato are all connected somehow. Maybe this mole they're talking about is Roya. Who knows? I don't know. I just know that he looks kind of suspect to me just for the fact that he kind of reminds me of a vampire. And since we're talking about demons and spirits and such, that's kind of odd. I don't know. But why shouldn't I pull a switcheroo on me and this freaking Leoji? But I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm gonna have a more rigid uploading schedule so that you guys can know when to tune in and what games are gonna be coming at this point. But if you have anything specific you want me to play, just drop a suggestion below. And other than that, again, stay fed and stay hydrated. I'm gonna take one more sip of water. And I'll see you guys next time.